Hey everyone, welcome to the video and thank you for watching. In this video, we're kind of going to go over a playoff breakdown, if you will. Um, no more than 5 games left remaining in the season for any team. Some teams have 4 games remaining. There's still a lot of tight races, and there's some positions that are pretty secure for the most part. That would basically take a meltdown to lose those positions. Right now, the only position officially clinched is first place, and that's clinched by the Peoria Rivermen. Their 6th time as regular season champs. A great achievement by that organization, and they clinched first seed and will have home ice advantage throughout the playoffs. So it's well earned, and it really is a blessing when you're dealing with a 3 game set. I know there's a thing out there with first place is cursed. It's not. There's no such thing as that. Um, I don't care about that kind of crap. The first place is a first place. But anyway, we got Riverman clinched first. You got Havoc still in second with 69 points, and Dogs with 65 points. Only 4 behind Havoc. Havoc is on a bit of a skid, losing their last 5 of 6 games and getting swept by the Rivermen, and then getting beat by the Birmingham Bulls. So that's 3 straight losses in Huntsville for Havoc. So again, they're kind of on a skid right now. But I guess it's best to get that out of the way before the playoffs if you're Havoc. I still think Havoc is a playoff threat and should not be written off just because of losing these past 3 games. They're still dangerous, and if you take them too light, you're going to end up losing. Dogs have kind of also been a little bit on a skid themselves, and it's the same deal. If you take them too lightly, they're going to beat you. You got to play a 60-minute game against these teams to beat them. You got Bulls, who's been playing some good hockey here lately, kind of starting to lock in. 61 points, 4 points behind the Roanoke Rail Yard Dogs. I do think the first 3 positions are pretty secure. Yes, mathematically there can be changes, but I still think they're pretty secure given the schedule left for the teams. It's going to be hard for, say, Bulls to catch and pass Dogs, or for Dogs to catch and pass Havoc. It's really unlikely. Havoc finished the year. They have 4 games left with Evansville Thunderbolts and the Macon Mayhem. So it's going to be really hard for Dogs to catch them. And Dogs finish out the season with Mayhem, Marksman, and Knoxville. They got 5 games left, 5 winnable games for sure. But Bolts have 4 winnable games themselves. Um, Bulls, they got Marksman and Evansville left. So, again, winnable games for the Bulls. And this is going to be a big weekend series between the Bulls and Marksman. Marksman is only 1 point behind the Bulls. They can't get swept. I don't know the tiebreaker situation between the Bulls and Marksman, but if they get swept, just to tie them, they're going to have to hope the Bulls lose out the rest of their games, and then Marksman's going to have to win out. So, I mean, really, Marksman's looking to sweep the Bulls and not get swept themselves. Going to be a tough task for them. I see the Bulls finishing in 4th place, but Marksman can still definitely catch them without a shadow of a doubt. Ice Bears have 54 points. They finished the year with the Storm and Dogs 4 games left. Pretty much 6 through 8 it's interchangeable technically. Um, sixth place, they're not going to catch marksmen or bulls, I don't think. Um, but I do think Ice Bears can stay in that sixth position, or they can drop to seventh, but I don't think they drop below seven. Bolts have 53 points in seventh place, and Storm have 50 points in eighth place. And their Storm's not playing like an eighth place team right now. They are playing some good hockey since the college season ended, and they signed some young talent, some college kids. They are producing. They are helping people like Whelan Parrish and Leaf Matson get on the board, get points, and they're good players. They really are some good players. So they're not playing like an eighth place team. And then you got Mayhem in ninth and Ice Flyers in 10th. I think that's exactly where they're going to stay in ninth and 10th, and they will miss out on the playoffs. I knew Ice Flyers would miss out on the playoffs. I called that before the season even started and said they would most likely finish last. And at 41 points, 3 points behind Mayhem. And they got 2 games coming up against the Rivermen, and they're 0-4 on the year against the Rivermen. Damn good shot they finished last place. So that's unfortunate for, Ice Flyer fans. I'm sure that's very unfamiliar territory. They've never missed the playoffs, thus never finishing in last place in their organizational history. Kind of like Knoxville last year. And Mayhem, I really thought they were going to get over that hump and get that 8th seed and make the playoffs, but they just kind of sputtered out in the end and couldn't get over that hump, and will probably be sitting at home. Storm have 4 games remaining. They got Knoxville, and then they got the Rivermen. Knoxville is not going to be an easy win for the Storm. It's really not. And, neither's Rivermen. So they got their work cut out for them if they want to jump the Bolts for 7th place. It is possible. If they sweep Knoxville, who knows? Rivermen really have everything locked up. They don't have anything to play for, nothing to lose. Of course, they're still going to play hard. They're still going to play to win. But, Storm has more to play for. They want to jump up in the 7th seed, and it's very possible that they could do that. Bolts have Havoc, Rivermen, and Bulls left. So Bolts have a really tough schedule in comparison to Storm. I mean, if they get swept by Havoc and Storm sweep Knoxville, guess what? Storm leapfrogged the Bolts by 1 point. And then, Bolts still got the Rivermen and a red-hot Bulls team. So it's very possible for Storm to leapfrog the Thunderbolts. It really is. Ice Bear has the Storm and Dogs left. If they hope to keep that 6th position, they got to do some sweeping themselves of the Storm, which ain't going to be easy the way Storm's playing right now. Storm's got a great goalie in Brent Moran, who's on his game right now. And you know what, though? Steven Muddendinger is starting to find his game and starting to get hot himself. So that's going to be a great series between Storm and Knoxville. My eyes are going to be on that. It's most likely a split, but of course both teams are looking to sweep one another to really position themselves in a good spot in the postseason. Like I said, Bulls and Marksmen and Knoxville and Storm are kind of the games of the week. They're really important for seeding when it comes to the playoffs. Bulls and Marksmen are basically playing for home ice against each other. It's looking like that's going to be the first round matchup. If Bulls stay in 4th place, they're going to have home ice advantage over Marksmen. And if Marksmen leapfrog them, they're going to have home ice over Bulls. So, That's really kind of a game of the week right there. Both teams are going to be looking to get that advantage in the playoffs over each other. And like I said, between Storm and Ice Bears, Storm's looking to jump up in that seventh seed, and Knoxville's looking to keep the sixth seed over the Bolts. They're only 1 point ahead of Evansville Thunderbolts. Ice Bears got 54, Bolts got 53. So this is a very important series against the Storm. And then they finished the year on the Dogs, and the Dogs have pretty much had their number all season. So again, this is a real big deal. Ice Bears don't want to drop in the seventh place and let Bolts pass them. So again, it's going to be a great, great game between Knoxville and Storm. That's my second game of the week for sure. And Havoc is looking to end their losing streak, and Thunderbolts are looking to pass the Ice Bears and position themselves. So that's my third game of the week. And that's going to be a really competitive game. As Cole Cece's getting hot right now. I still think he's being overused. Thunderbolts just signed Taylor Joseph. I would play him in, down the stretch at least one game, if not two, to kind of spell Cole Cece for the play and have him a little more rested for the playoffs. But we'll see how that goes. More than likely, Cole C plays all the remaining of the games leading into the playoffs, which I think's a bad idea. He should at least sit one of these games. And then, Rivermen got Pensy coming up. Like I said, that's really a nothing game. Rivermen got first locked up, and, maybe Pensy's trying to get out of last place, but they're already out of the playoffs. They're not going to spoil the Rivermen. So it's really kind of a nothing game, honestly. And then Dogs got Macon Mayhem. Again, not really an important game for either team. Yeah, Dogs want to win just to really lock down that third position. And obviously, Mayhem's trying to catch the Storm, but being 6 points behind the Storm, I would say Macon Mayhem is pretty cooked at this point. So, yeah, I don't give Mayhem much hope. Their schedule's pretty difficult. I don't give them much hope to get out of ninth place. Like I said, I'm pretty confident Mayhem's going to miss the playoffs with the Ice Flyers this year. So again, there's three really key matchups coming up this weekend that's going to determine some playoff seedings and to end the season. So it's going to be really interesting to see where teams go. It's looking like Rivermen are either going to play the Thunderbolts or Storm in the first round. And, those are the two teams we play the most. But it is what it is. So they're in the position they're in. They're in 7th and 8th. Rivermen's going to end up playing one of them. And, Havoc is probably going to end up facing, Bolt, Storm, or Ice Bears in the first round. Same with Dogs. They're probably going to end up facing the Bolts or Ice Bears in the first round. And then you got the Bulls and Marksmen that are going to face each other in the first round. But it's just who's going to have home ice advantage. So with that, I'll go ahead and wrap it up. I can't wait to see these games this weekend, especially the three I named, with Bulls and Marksmen, Storm and Knoxville, and who was the other? Yeah, Havoc and Thunderbolts. Those three games I got my eye on. That's going to determine some seeding and make the playoff picture more clear. So with that, I'll go ahead and wrap it up. I'll catch you at the next puck drop, and I always keep it Rivermen style.